Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly how to give better bedside nursing report. If you follow these steps, you're never going to stress about giving report to anyone again. First things first, you need to make your own report sheets. Report sheets are not one size fits all, and the one issue that might be holding you back is that you're using that terrible report sheet that's supplied to you on the unit. It didn't take me any more than 15 minutes to create my own report sheet. Create a report sheet that's tailored to you. Keep copies of your new report sheet in a folder in your work bag so that you'll always have access to it no matter what unit you get pulled to, or if you're traveling to multiple hospitals for work, like as a travel nurse, for instance, you'll always have a report sheet with you that you're comfortable with and that you're familiar with. So this might actually be the most important tip that I give you in this whole video. Do not rely on the information given to you by somebody else. Everything needs to be double checked. After you get report for every single patient, you need to comb through every single order in the chart. So after you get report, take a few moments and comb through all of the orders for that patient. What rates should your fluid be running at? Are they currently running at those rates? Should the patient be NPO for an upcoming test? These are all very important orders that you want to get right at the beginning of your shift so you can start to shift off on the right foot. Oftentimes, change of shift is when a new group of doctors is coming on board. Orders often change, and this is when things can easily get missed. So the next time you really want to check your orders is midway through your shift. The purpose of this is to catch any orders that may have been put in after the providers have finished their rounds for the day for your patient. Oftentimes, new lab orders will get placed, the rates of fluids will get changed, tests can get ordered. There may be an order for your patient to go to CAT scan and you need to call down and schedule that before the end of your shift. Finally, you want to check your orders around 2 hours before your shift ends. The purpose of this is to make sure that your report sheet is accurate and that you've completed all of your tasks before the end of your shift. You need to review the chart for every single patient. So what's a chart review? So for each patient that's admitted to the hospital, there's going to be a note section. In this section, you're going to find all of the notes that have been written by all the providers that are seeing the patient. So the area that you want to focus on is the progress notes. You want to review the progress notes for the past 24 to 48 hours for each of your patients. And this is just a quick skim, and the purpose of this is to familiarize yourself with the current plan of care for that patient so that you'll be fresh and know what's going on for that day. And quick disclaimer, sometimes you're going to be so busy, your patients are not going to be stable, so some days this is not going to be possible for you, and that's okay. There's going to be a progress note for all of the services or specialties that are following that patient. So they see the patient daily and write a summary of what changes they've made to the treatment plan and what their future plans are for the patient, like tests, etc. So if cardiology is following that patient, they'll have a recent note in the chart. If GI is seeing that patient, they'll also have a note in the chart. So the best time to do a chart review for your patient is while you're waiting to get report or just after getting shift report. And again, this doesn't have to take more than 5 minutes. You're not necessarily doing a deep dive into all of the progress notes for that patient. You're just taking a quick look at the progress notes from the past 24 to 48 hours so you'll know what the plan is for the day. Do this more often than not, and on the days that you can't do it, you just can't do it. My next tip is to take notes throughout your shift. So let's say you infuse 3 units of blood during your shift. Write it down. Let's say you check the hemoglobin level after you infuse those units. Write it down on your report sheet. This is a great way of keeping track of your actions throughout the day. And it also ensures that you don't miss anything important that may have happened during the day when you give handoff to the next nurse. With the day being so busy, it can be really easy to forget something important that you did for your patients. At the very end of your shift, just before giving report, check all of your patient rooms and bring your report sheet with you. So the purpose of this is to make sure that your report sheet matches the actual patient. Check your patient's lines. Are the actual IV sites that are on the patient the same as what's written down on your report sheet? Sometimes throughout your shift, Maybe you DC'd a IV line. Maybe you placed a new line. Make sure that that's actually written down in your report sheet so that your report is accurate. Do the rate of the IV fluids that are actually infusing into the patient match what's written down on your report sheet? Make sure that's accurate and jot it down in your report sheet. The purpose of doing a final sweep of all of your patients and all of their rooms is to make sure that your report matches the reality of what's happening in that patient's room, okay? Update your report sheet as you go from room to room and just make sure everything is accurate so that when you do actually give report, everything is 100% factual. It actually really helps with your reputation, and that nurse will know for future reference, okay, I can trust what she's telling me. She's not always off with the report, and the patient looks one way and the report looks a completely different way. Do not make the mistake of thinking that the nurse who gave you report is coming back to take back that same patient, even if they tell you they're going to. You don't know how many times I have been burned thinking that the same nurse was going to be coming back, and then I find out at the last minute that that nurse called in sick, or that nurse got pulled to a different unit, and I was so ready to just say, oh, no changes, and unfortunately, I have a different nurse who's approaching me and saying, oh, I've never had this patient before, and I have to give a full report that I'm totally not prepared for. So that nurse may be 100% confident that they will be coming back to take that patient, but I'd say about 10% of the time, it's not going to happen. So at worst, you might waste your time writing down these thorough notes, and that nurse ends up coming back to take their patient back, and you just wasted a little bit of time. But in those instances where that nurse does not come back to take that patient back, I guarantee you that you're going to be very grateful that you were more thorough with your note taking and with your report sheet. And this is why it's so important to check orders throughout the shift for every single patient. This way you'll always be prepared to give report to anybody, no matter if they know the patient or if they're returning to take their patient back. I guarantee that if you follow these steps, your report is going to improve drastically. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video.